Once upon a time, there were a father and his son. One day, when father and his son was passing through a road, then they saw a pond filled with muddy water. Few young boys were swimming in that muddy water. Then the father went near the boys who were swimming in the muddy water and asked them, "Oh boys, what for you swimming in this muddy water?" The boys, then pointing towards a golden fruit in that muddy water, told to the father that, "Can't you see that golden fruit in this muddy water? We all are trying to get that golden fruit and we are putting all our efforts for procuring that." Hearing that, the father thought like this: "If I can get that golden fruit somehow, then my son and I can lead a luxurious and wonderful life." By thinking like this, the father immediately pushed his son into that muddy water. Then his son asked his father the reason for pushing him into that muddy water. The father, pointing towards that golden fruit, and says to his son that, "Oh my son, see that golden fruit in this muddy water. You have to get that golden fruit which is shining at any cost." But his son did not agree to his father's will. He said that he is not interested in that golden fruit, and he had so many ideas and dreams about his life. Then his father says like this: "Don't talk rubbish. I am not requesting you, but I am commanding you to get that golden fruit at any cost." Then his son, obeying his father, tries hard by swimming in that muddy water and toils very hard to get that golden fruit into his hands. But as he swims, the son realizes that he was drowning into the muddy water little by little. Then he cries to his father and says that he was drowning into that muddy water. But his father never cares his words and asks his son to get that golden fruit somehow. Then the boy, as he was drowning in that muddy water, suddenly realizes that it was not muddy water, but it was a marsh. Knowing this, the son becomes afraid and starts calling his father and says loudly that it is not muddy water, but it was a marsh. But his father did not listen to his son. After some time, his son gets completely drowned into that marsh and dies. His father, seeing his son drowning completely, cries and shouts loudly, calls his son. But his son never gives any answer. Everything was over. His son died. He then repents for his ideas and he collapses there itself and starts crying and shouting loudly and says, "Oh my son, I lost you completely because of my desire to get that golden fruit." When the father was crying like this, a saint was going through that place. The saint sees father and goes towards him and asks, "My son, why are you crying? What is the reason for your sadness?" Then the father, showing that golden fruit, says everything, whatever so happened. Then that saint looks at that golden fruit keenly and sees the tree which was bearing that golden fruit on its branch. After seeing that, the saint said to that father, "Before kicking your son into that muddy water, you must have observed the fruit whether it was really in that marsh or not. But alas, whatever you saw was only the shadow of that golden fruit, which was on the branch of a tree which was on the shore of that muddy water. Now you lost your son because of your misunderstanding, and also you lost that golden fruit." Then the saint consoled the father and went back to his ashram. Friends, nowadays parents are not asking their children what they want to do in their studies for the better settlement in their future, but they are forcing the children whatever they want to do. The parents are not asking their children as to in which subject they are interested in, but they always impose on the children whatever they like. The children must be given a chance to select any subject or group they are interested in. Then only they can study with interest and achieve the goals in their future. If the parents force their children for their own desires without looking into their child's interest, then their future will get damaged, like the son of a father in this story. If the father in this story could have asked his son whether he was interested to get that golden fruit or not, his son might not have died because the son was not interested in getting that golden fruit, but he was interested in other fields of life. His son didn't wanted to get that fruit, but because of his father, he tried to get that fruit. But the son failed to get that fruit which his father wanted, and finally the consequences were terrible, and the boy had to give up his life. In the beginning itself, if his father could have asked him whether he likes to take that fruit or not, he could not have kicked the boy in that marsh, and his child might not have died. If his father would have asked whether he is interested or not, he would not have to see his son without life, and he could have got the golden fruit also, if his child loved to take out that fruit. Today, we are seeing in many news channels or in social media that children are attempting suicide because their parents forced to do the things which the children were not interested to do. Finally, the conclusion is that we must respect opinions of the children also so that they can be in a great position in their lives in the future.